coming after me. Y'all favorite came after me. My fans up and them bands up, bring my fam up. The mentality, these niggas be faking. The mentality, these niggas be hating. The mentality.
Yo, what's going on, family? So we are back with another video, man, and I noticed something interesting, yo. I noticed something very interesting. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more Mobile Legends content and other gaming content. I'm thinking about uploading some Asphalt 9, the racing game, because I've been having a blast playing that game, and this is not a sponsored video, by the way. I've just been having a blast playing the game. But and this is my first time playing a racing game on mobile. Last time I played a game was like Need for Speed back on Xbox or something. So yeah, anyway, go ahead and drop that thumbs up on the video to be a part of the conversation and get this conversation shared with other people, different perspectives and all that good stuff. But thinking in Mobile Legends, one thing that I noticed, a lot of people just think the same. I mean, which I knew this already, because when you go across people in the game, everyone plays the same, which makes it, like me being a solo marksman player, it's easy for me to take out a bunch of assassins and stuff like that, no matter what level they are, because especially when they're mythic. Honestly, I watch more mythic gameplay than I watch of the lower level gameplay, and I know that all mythics really play the same. So outsmarting them, like knowing what they're going to do, knowing when they're coming and trying to evade, and plus I have mini-map awareness also, so I basically know these things already going into it. But basically everyone is trying to think that at every stage in Mobile Legends everyone plays like mythics. But the thing is, when we talk about certain topics, people come into the topics already thinking, yo, VeLL, you're wrong. This is how it's done. This is why the mythics do this. This is why this is why that. But the issue that I'm having with it is that if someone put a gun to your head and it was die or use this marksman, use Layla or die, use Layla and beat a meta team or die, a lot of people would think differently because they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. You have to figure out a strategy to use Layla and win this game. So if it's possible for you to do that, if there's no way out of it, if there's no escape, if you can't use someone else, if you have to use Layla and make sure you win while using Layla, a lot of people would come up with different strategies, and that's what a MOBA is about, coming up with strategies to overcome other strategies. But the issue that I'm having with Mobile Legends is not about that. Mobile Legends is about banning certain heroes you don't want to waste your time with, and then basically trying to get to the most powerful heroes first, and then everyone's just doing their thing. Like, it's a lot of good players that just play together. Just playing together does not mean you have teamwork. And I think that a lot of people see the rank mythic and think that, oh, they must have great teamwork. Oh, they have a bunch of wins. They must have great teamwork. No, the problem that I have been complaining about with Mobile Legends for the longest is the fact that any 3 to 5 great players can just come together and destroy damn near any team in Mobile Legends. Simply because teamwork, it's not even the fact that it's teamwork, but just even playing as a team with players who just have common sense is rare in Mobile Legends, honestly. Forget the fact that there's no strategy and teamwork, common sense is rare in Mobile Legends. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's the sad truth, yo. So if a gun was put to your head, let me show you how you would be thinking if a gun was put to your head. Okay, I have to use Layla. There is no way out of this. So how can I use Layla, and what team comp do I need to secure? Now you're thinking about what you should ban to prevent them from destroying your Layla. So when you're thinking about what you need them to ban, then that's when you start to really think, okay, so bans are very, very important. What assassin is going to annoy Layla the most? Instantly knocking out Natalia. Natalia has to get out of there because she's invisible. You can never know where she's coming from. You can't plan for her, and that's an unexpected uncertainty that you can't rely on. You cannot let her pass. Anybody else you can see coming, even if it's Fanny, you can see her coming even though she's super fast. So then probably I'd have to go with something like, who do I want to ban next? Who can Layla just absolutely not handle whatsoever, even if you have the most god positioning in the world? So Natalia can come up unexpected. Who else is at that level where you can't really plan or do anything about them? Then it's going to go down to Lancelot or Garshan. Or will it go to Hellkurt? Because Hellkurt can go invisible. Who do you struggle with stopping the most? It's between these few assassins. Because then that's the next ban that you have to get. And then is it possible for you to hope, is it possible for the other team to ban someone that you need banned? Because then you can go from just only having 2 bans to having multiple bans. Because if you can force the other team to ban a certain hero, then that means that basically you're going to get multiple bans. So if the other team lucks up and bans some of the heroes that you need banned, that's good for everyone. That's good for your chances. Then once you have the bans under control, you have to think about spells. So, which a lot of people don't really, they use the same spells over and over because they see the top players doing it and stuff like that. But when it comes down to spells, is there a way where Petrify works for everybody? Is there a way where everyone on your team can run Petrify? Let's think about the marksman. Does the marksman really need like the retribution? Or does the marksman really need Inspire? Like, what benefits does the marksman get from Inspire? And who does the other team have? Would it make more sense for the marksman to get Petrify instead? That way, if someone happens to get past the tank for a brief second, the marksman can stun them, then the tank can stun them, and then they're just dead. So would it be worth having 2 Petrifies, even though that's not a common thing to do? Now you're thinking different. You're strategizing based on what the enemy team can do. Like, this is all you have to do right here. This level of thinking. Okay, now you have Layla. You have the most deadly heroes to Layla banned. Now, what heroes do you want on your team? What are you going to need to keep Layla alive and to force the game into late game? So, if you have to force the game into late game, who's the most sustainable heroes? Johnson, Hylos, who else? Ruby. Ruby is very sustainable. She's very annoying. And who could potentially hold a lane by themselves? Like, you got Jawhead, you got Mortis, you got heroes like that. But also, would it be worth it to have Estes? Would it be worth it to have Angela? And who would they be protecting? Because the thing about Estes is it's smart for Estes to protect a marksman. Would it be as smart for Angela to protect a marksman? I think Angela works better protecting a tank, which means that Angela being a pick would not necessarily be the best pick to keep Layla alive, which is the important thing about this whole thing right now. It's important to keep Layla alive. See, this is different ways of thinking about it, and this is considering certain circumstances, trying to come up with a strategy that's going to allow you to beat a meta team. This is something that most people don't do. Most people don't try to come up with strategies based on all the information you have. You need to clearly set what you want to accomplish. If you want to use Layla, what would it take for you to use Layla and win that game versus who you're going to be going against? So, would it be like even choosing a support? Like I said, Estes would be better for heals than Angela. But then you have to ask yourself, would it be even better to have Rafaela? Even though Rafaela does not heal as well as Estes, she adds extra mobility. In certain situations, the ADC can run a lot faster with Rafaela there. So is that little bit of speed worth giving up a lot more heals? So that's the question you got to ask yourself. Like, these are all questions you have to take into consideration. Or is it even worth it to have a support? Do you trust that your Layla will not be taking as many hits? Can you protect your Layla and make sure that she won't be taking hits? Is the tank that you're selecting the perfect tank for the job? Do you want Johnson? Johnson who can, if somebody tries to dive your ADC, Johnson can either stun him real fast with his first ability, or Johnson can go into car form, run away. But are they going to let Johnson run away like that? Because Johnson can just really go into car form, they can stand in front of him and he can just hit somebody, and then the whole team can still jump on him. Is that something that you want to risk? Is that risk worth it? Is that, like, really thinking about how to accomplish something is a lot different from just trying to prove that I'm wrong to begin with. So basically, what the thing with Mobile Legends players is that everyone has just accepted the fact that there is no such thing as strategy in Mobile Legends. There is a such thing as strategy. And obviously, if the pros or nobody is doing it, you have to figure out the strategy for yourself. Like, people's strategy nowadays on Mobile Legends is to look at a top player, look at a bunch of gameplay, and do what they do. That's not a strategy. Why are you doing what they're doing? Do you even know why the pros are doing what they're doing? Do you know if they came up with that strategy on their own? Do you know if their coach came up with that strategy? Do you know if they only did this strategy because they aren't thinking like this either? Do you know why they're not thinking like this? Like, Like, really think for yourselves. Like, you have to really be able to think for yourself. To say that there's absolute, like, all the heroes, the variety of heroes, the variety of power. You have Leslie who can two-shot people. You have Leslie who can literally two-shot people. Are you telling me and so many people are telling me it's impossible to win with a marksman? No, it's not impossible to win with a marksman. It's impossible to think to the level where you can win with a marksman. That seems to be impossible for a lot of people in the Mobile Legends community, and it's not even rocket science whatsoever. Like, if you can't figure out how to use a hero who can two-shot people in a video game, I really hope you're not going through no real life shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope you're not going through nothing in real life, because that really must be impossible for you if you can't figure out how to use somebody who can literally two-shot people in a video game. So basically, my whole point is, when you stop saying this can't be done, that can't be done, this is not possible, you start to think, how can I make this possible? It's a shift in your mindset, a shift in the way you see things. What can I do to stop them from doing that? Okay, I know that all the assassins are going to do this. I know that all the pro teams are going to do that. I know that everyone in Mobile Legends does this. So what can I do to stop them from doing that and to counter what they're doing while doing what I want to do here? That's the type of way you have to think. Everyone's coming into it thinking, all just thinking the same. Like, that's basically what I've been talking about. And I know that it still might be complicated to understand and complicated to grasp this, but everything down from the spells, the bans you pick, all of this stuff has been implemented in the game for different strategies. For instance, you could ban, like, the bans and stuff, it has a huge impact on who you're using. Like, the thing is, in Mobile Legends, people will just say, oh, you're supposed to ban Hellcurt every game, you're supposed to ban Fanny, you're supposed to ban Gaijin and Lancelot. These are the heroes that you need to ban. Why are you banning those heroes? Because that's what everyone else does, right? Because they're strong, right? Wrong. They are strong heroes, don't get me wrong, but who are they strong against? And who are they weakness? Because all you simply have to do is grab a hero that counters those heroes. Then you can use that ban position for something else that's really a huge threat to who you have. Like, who's the biggest threat that a certain hero on your team would have? And when you're thinking about marksman, like I said, we already broke down how, like, Natalia would be like the most random factor there. It's kind of hard to defend against her because you don't even know when she's coming, where she's coming from, how she's coming. Like, it's very hard to defend against something that you can't see coming. And then Fanny has the high mobility. Like, basically thinking like that, thinking like this. Like, this is actually thinking about how to do something in Mobile Legends, more so than just watching somebody and copying them, or just assuming that something's impossible because you have not thought to do it. You probably have not thought to think. And that's what I'm talking about in Mobile Legends, man. But let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you understood the video and where I'm coming from in this video. Make sure you drop that thumbs up, share it with people, because I do want some different opinions from you all. I do want to hear different opinions, different perspective. We have people at every single rank talking. We have mythics and stuff like that. Everyone is joining in on the conversation. We have a lot of mythics who are agreeing with some of my videos. We have some mythics who are disagreeing with some of my videos. And yeah, it's just interesting to see the different perspective, the different thought processes and all that. But yeah, drop that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, fam. Peace out, yo.
I'm on it. Can't fail for my family, I want it. So they'll never need hope or want it. A break, just something that I don't get. If I'm only here